We are live from Michael Lupin Field on the campus of Newman High School, uptown New Orleans, as the Greenies are hosting the Country Day Cajuns. We made it to the 8 o'clock hour of the show, which means we've made it to the time of our All-State Sugar Bowl interview of the week. The great people at the All-State Sugar Bowl set these up for us, and we have chances to talk to former players, former coaches, people who've been involved in the Sugar Bowl. And tonight, we got a coach for you. We got Coach Dennis Erickson joining the show. Basically, over the 47 years that he's been a coach, if there's been a football team somewhere, he's probably coached it. He's head coach at University of Idaho, Wyoming, Washington State, Miami, the U, Oregon State, Arizona State, also went in the NFL, did a stint with the Seahawks as the head coach, San Francisco 49ers. He's also coached in the Alliance of American Football League. He retired. He even came out of retirement to join the staff at University of Utah. I mean, there's probably nothing that Coach Erickson hasn't seen in his tenure as a coach. He's got a wealth of knowledge, a litany of experience, and we're so honored for him to join our show tonight and talk with us. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the program. We're really glad to have you.
Oh, it's a pleasure being with you guys and talk a little about the game of football and the past and the future and so forth. So something I was raised on, and I'd be excited to share anything that I have.
Well, Coach, you do about 50 years of stint of coaching in your entire career. You've kind of wound that down now. So let our listeners know, after almost 50 years of doing this, what is Coach Erickson doing right now?
Well, occasionally I go and advise at different places, different colleges. Just my son coaches at a place, and I go back to some of the places that I coach and spend a little time with those coaches, and so that keeps me busy in the football aspect of it. And I live in an area called Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which is big, huge lake in North Idaho, about 20 miles from Spokane, Washington. And I've had a place here for many, many years, but wasn't living here permanently. But that's where I'm at right now, and relaxing a little bit, being able to watch a lot of football on TV. And like I said, I travel around, watch games occasionally. And, it's just, the good thing about being here and doing this, I can second guess everybody like they used to second guess me all.
That's right. That's right. So let's talk about a little bit. I mean, look, you've been doing this, as I said, for nearly 50 years, but I'll take you up to, you're going into Miami. You're going to succeed Jimmy Johnson at the U. Lead Miami to a 1990, 1993 Sugar Bowls, also national championship seasons as well, two of those with the U, 89 and 91. Any experience that you can share with our listeners, especially for us, playing in the Sugar Bowl, winning the national championship there?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was, going to Miami. I was the head coach at Washington State in this area, and the only reason I really got contacted about the job was Sam Jankovich, who coached me in college, was the athletic director at the University of Miami. And when Jimmy left, they were looking for a coach, and he wanted somebody that he knew and he could trust. And in all reality, he kind of stepped out there and hired an unknown from clear across the country. So I appreciate that. And once I got there, players are players, and you just treat them with respect. And, I loved what Jimmy did there. I loved watching him play. They asked me in the first meeting, you're going to let us play the way we played, which obviously was with a lot of swagger. And,
yeah.
Which that didn't bother me at all. And I said, the only thing I will ask is that you don't get penalties from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just had fun. What people don't understand about the University of Miami and over the years, and is that, they had fun playing the game. They had a lot of pride. The things that they did on the field, it wasn't about showboating. It was about having fun and playing the game that they really loved, because you got to understand, where they went to high school, where they grew up, all those different things. And all people on the outside saw was, these guys that were, dancing and doing all that stuff, and that they were hot dogs and all that stuff. But that wasn't true at all. They just loved playing the game, and I learned a lot from them, how competitive they were, how important the game of football was to them. And as you know, being from the South, that's how it is.
Yeah.
So it was a great time, and made a lot of good friends there, and were successful, and won a couple championships. And like I said, going to the Sugar Bowl was always fun. I really enjoyed that. Obviously, we played Alabama both times and ended up 1-1, but how you guys treated us and so forth was a lot of fun. And I always have a lot of appreciation for the fans in the South. Now, Alabama at times got a little tough on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
but that's how it was. And so, but I enjoyed the 6 years I was there, and we won 2, and then we played for 2 others, at the end. So it was a great experience. I keep in contact with those guys all the time. I try to go back at least once a year, and when they have a reunion and so forth. So, and they've been through quite a few coaches since I was there, and now they got Mario there. Mario played for me at Miami, at Crystal Bowl. So, he's going to do a good job. It's going to take time to get where it used to be, and it's a little harder to get to that point where you lose games. When I went there, they asked me, I asked him, what are your goals here as a university football-wise? And they said, don't lose 1 game.
Yeah. They didn't take it easy on you, huh, Coach?
Oh, hell no. That's not what they did. But it was the most fun I had in coaching in my career.
And look, you talked about those guys that you had there. Your 1990 team had, I think it was 12 players go to the NFL. You had a guy by the name of Warren Sapp out there, Jesse Armstead, Leon Searcy, Russell Maryland, Randall Hill, Gina Toretta. I can keep going on and on. But what's it like as a coach to be able to coach a group of individuals like that and then still, like you said, kind of be part of their life? And you got to see it on both sides because you got to help mold those young men, and then you had 2 stints in the NFL where you got to see those kids come to you from college and continue to mentor them not only in football but in life.
Well, it was the players you suggest. Actually, a couple of them came after 1990, but they were there during the 6 years that I was there. So, like Warren Sapp. We recruited him out of Orlando, and ended up being a great player. Gino was from California; he was already here. And Randall Hill was a thrill. And, those guys. It's like I said, I was born and raised in Everett, Washington. And it's a long ways from Miami, believe me.
Yeah.
And so the things that I learned as far as culture and their families, and it was really a learning experience for me that I was able to use through all my coaching career.
Coach, one of the other things that we're talking about with this group of guys and everything, and you're talking about how the culture and everything. Out in Idaho, there's not many hurricanes. You come down here, Louisiana, the Gulf South, there's hurricanes, and in Louisiana, we were ravaged by a bunch of them over the last few years. Hurricane Ian just ravaged Florida. You were there when Hurricane Andrew came in 92. Actually, you went to, I think, the Sugar Bowl in 90 and 93, so right in the middle of that. As a coach, how do you, account for or just kind of roll with the punches when you have something like that happen with your football team?
Well, obviously it was an experience. Of course, Andrew hit Miami, so I lost my house, and a lot of the players' families lost their houses. And so what we had to do, we were opening with Iowa, who's a really good football team, and we went undefeated, and then during that year, and so what happened is that we went up to Dodgertown, and that's where we practiced to get ready to play for Iowa, because we didn't have any place to practice. And then we came back right after the Iowa game and then started practicing at the University of Miami. But, the houses were gone. We had to rent a house, my family and I, just find a place, we
Right.
went south, towards Fort Lauderdale. But it really hit Miami and South Florida. And it's like I said. I mean, seeing that and seeing what just happened with the hurricane up there, that it's devastating, and it takes years and years to overcome. But the thing about it is, our guys were so focused on football that they just continued, and we checked on their families all the time. And finally, we got back to South Florida. But it just takes time, but that's how much they love the game of football.
Yeah, just maintaining the course.
Just maintaining the course, and it wasn't easy.
Well, speaking of courses, I had to take a bunch of courses in school, and I had to take the bar exam. So I decided that when guests come on this show, I'm going to make them take a bar exam as well. But, Coach, don't worry. Okay, you're going to get off easy. It's not going to be a 3-day bar exam. We're going to end with a 60-second bar exam for you. They're all going to be true-false answers, okay? So
I don't have to tell you what bar I'm at.
No, you don't have to tell me what bar you're at. You just got to say true, false, and you got 60 seconds, all right? You ready for Brad's bar exam?
You got it.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Let's go. True or false only. True or false? You were the head coach at the University of Idaho.
True.
Their mascot is the Fighting Potatoes.
False.
You won 2 national championships while you were at Miami.
True.
You are the only head coach at Miami to ever do that.
True.
At Miami, you coached another Miami head coach, Mario Cristobal.
True.
You have a crystal ball.
False.
You have a magic 8 ball.
True.
You play pool.
True.
Your house in Miami had a pool.
True.
Your house in Miami was pink.
False.
Your dad's nickname was Blue.
False.
Your dad's nickname was Pink.
True.
Your dad was a high school coach.
True.
You played quarterback for your dad in high school.
False.
You played quarterback against your dad in high school.
True.
You're a scratch golfer.
False.
You once met Bear Bryant.
True.
He gave you his hat.
False.
You like to fish.
True.
Okay, we're up against the clock. One last one. You hold the record for the largest rainbow trout ever caught in Idaho.
False.
All right, Coach, you did it. Let me see. Carry the 1. You passed, Coach. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. That's the first one I've passed in a long time.
Coach, thanks for jumping on the show with us tonight. Really had fun. Good luck to you in your retirement. Enjoy watching the games and not having anybody question whatever decision you make.
You bet. Thank you for having me.
All right. There he is, the winner of 179 career games over 7 colleges and a 2-time national championship winner, Coach Dennis Erickson. Hope you enjoyed it. Stick around. We got a lot more for you. We're here with you to 10:30. Don't touch the dial. More updates, more scores, and finally, more interviews with winning coaches right here tonight on the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup on WWL.